This tutorial will show you how to view variable metadata from different data sets and how it's connected to the value level metadata, which are the values within those variables and all their attributes, and also how it links to control terminologies such as coded and decoded values for control terms, and it also links back to the case report form, CRF pages from those variables. So let's go back to the variables here. This over here lists all of the data sets, and as you tap on each data set, it lists all the variables within each data set on the right. This is analogous, or this is exactly the same as the values I'll show you here on the XML. So this is the same XML file, defined XML, displayed in a web browser. So for example, if I were to go to the top, you'll see all the data sets listed here, and the one that I'm interested in reviewing as an example is the medical history. So if I go down here to medical history, if I click on MH, it lists all the attributes of the variables for medical history. And the first link I wanted to describe is how it can link to control terms. In this example, the mhcat variable has a hyperlink to the control term mhcat. When I click on that, you can see here that the medical and psychiatric history has coded terms here. So in the same way, I'll show you that as it occurs in the iPad view. So if I were to go to the medical history, oops, let me hold it up here, and I would select on the variable mhcat, which is, you can see here. So all of these attributes here are listed in the same way that the history on the XML is displayed. Now in this case, the control term mhcat has a hyperlink, so if I tap on that, as you can see here, it jumped from variable over to the terminology screen, and it highlights the same control term for mhcat. So that's how I did that jump. Now if I go back, let me stand this up. There's a little back, holds up the iPad. So if I were to go back to the XML file and show you another link, control term is the first type of link, but for example, there are other hyperlinks as well. In the medical history, it may have links to the actual case report form. In this case, it links it by page number. So if I click on this link, it jumps to the case report form. I actually don't have it set up here on the XML file. It's a PDF file, but I have some example data on the iPad. So if I go back to the iPad and look at that, in this case the mhcat variable again, there's the same hyperlink under the origin here. If I tap on that, it links to the case report form. This is just an example PDF that may not reflect that actual medical history, but as you can see down here, it jumps to the CRF view, and you can actually view that PDF case report form. So that's another link. Now the last type of link I wanted to show you is the linking from the variable to the value. So I'll first show you on the XML within the browser. So let's say, for example, I look at a data set, and how about the TS data set? Now in the TS trial summary, there's a hyperlink here for this variable, for the parm CD, the parameter short name code. When I click on that, it lists all the values and then its associated attributes here. Now in some cases, these have links to the control terminologies or links to CRFs, so they have a similar type of metadata. But let me show you that same hyperlink within the iPad view. So if I were to go to the TS in this case, the trial summary here. And then in this case, the variable that we had looked at is the tsparm_cd. Tap on that. Now this variable name up here has a hyperlink. So if I tap on the hyperlink, it links from the variable view to the value view, and it lists all the values within that variable. And in order to view each attribute, you can go down here and look at the attribute, and sometimes these attributes will have hyperlinks. So they're all interconnected, but when you navigate within the variable view, you can then link to the control terms, you can link to values or CRFs depending on how the define XML is defined.